He brought life to this world, but after seeing humanity, he would attempt to end it. Hello and welcome to Random History. It's codename Hannibal here, ready to do our first mythology episode. Thousands of years ago, under Lake Titicaca, something was awakening. It was the father of the gods, Kon-Tiki-Viracocha, also known as Huiracocha, Huiracocha, or Huirococha. Viracocha looked around at the world, at its mountains and its plains and its thick rainforests, and he decided that he needed to give it life. His first creation was a race of giants. They were incredibly powerful, towering over all but the mountains. But Viracocha decided that they were savage brutes that needed to be exterminated, and so he sent a flood to destroy them. But perhaps some survived. Thousands of years later, European explorers who sailed through the Strait of Magellan heard rumors of savage giants living in Patagonia and Tierra del Fuego. Those explorers are another fascinating story, but they are for another episode. The giants now destroyed, Viracocha realized that he would need to populate the earth with something else, something smaller, more civilized, something that would properly respect Viracocha and his children. Something like, what are they called? Those annoying little things with pointy sticks? Oh yeah, humans! And so Viracocha repopulated the earth with humans. They were smaller, more civilized, and, usually, gave Viracocha and his children the proper respect. Oh, and while we're at it, let's talk about Viracocha's children. There was Inti, god of the sun. He was the most revered of the Inca gods. When he cried, his tears were gold. There was Pachacamac, god of fire and rain and lightning. He was adopted by the Inca people after they conquered a neighboring tribe that worshipped him. His wife, Pachamama, was the goddess of the earth. Mama Kocha was the goddess of the sea. Mama Kilya, goddess of the moon, was the sister and consort of Inti. She was also the goddess of woman and childbirth. During lunar eclipses, the Inca thought that a monster was attacking Mama Kilya, so they waved weapons at the sky to scare the monster away. Ilapu, also known as Iliapa, was the warlike god of thunder, and Chuichu was the rainbow serpent. Now, back to the story. So Viracocha created the first humans. Some say out of clay, some say out of the pebbles found along the banks of Lake Titicaca. The humans proved to be better than the giants, but they still had no agricultural or textile skills. So they lived naked in caves, eating native plants and hunting wild animals. And so the gods created Manco Capac. He emerged from the mouth of a cave, along with those who would one day become the Incan nobility. Out of another mouth of that cave came the people who would one day become the lower-class Incan peasants, and out of a third mouth of that same cave came the people who would one day become the slaves of the Inca. According to another version of the story, Manco Capac and the others who would one day become the Inca were set down along the banks of Lake Titicaca. Manco Capac had 3 brothers and 3 sisters. One of those sisters, Mama Oclo, was also his wife. He was also the son of Inti, who helped him again and again. Inti gave Manco Capac a golden staff. He instructed him to travel far and wide, and whenever he came to a new place, plunged the staff into the ground. When the staff sunk all the way into the ground, it would be fertile ground, a good place to start a civilization. At last, Manco Capac found a place where the staff vanished into the earth. He built the city of Cuzco near the spot. Cuzco became the capital of the Incan civilization. So Manco Capac, along with the nobles, peasants, and slaves, created the Inca Empire. At its height, it stretched across huge portions of South America's west coast. And though they did not invent the wheel or a conventional system of writing, they were incredibly advanced. They built unbelievable road systems and great cities. And they were rich, very rich. But in the end, this wealth was their downfall. When the conquistadors arrived, they did not care how incredible the Incan civilization was. They just cared that the Incas had gold and that they weren't strong enough to protect it. But again, that's another story, and not one that ends well at all. But we're getting off topic. Let's get back to Manco Capac. Viracocha decided to see how much Manco Capac had improved the people of the earth. So he traveled to Earth disguised as a human to test the hospitality of the Inca. He taught them how to live well, and he performed miracles for them. If a powerful god traveling to Earth to test the hospitality of mortals seems familiar, that's because many gods from many mythologies, especially Zeus from Greek mythology, have done that. But despite the miracles that he was working, the Inca were suspicious of Viracocha. At one point, he was even stoned by an angry crowd. Viracocha was angrier than he had ever been since he realized what a mistake creating the giants had been. So he decided to destroy the humans using the same method he had used to destroy the giants, a flood. But either he was less powerful now than he had been before, or he did not want to be quite as overkill with the humans as he had been with the giants. So instead of just summoning a massive flood immediately to wash them away, he began to cry. He was a god. He hoped that he could cry enough to create another enormous flood to drown all the humans. Fortunately, this method did not work, so Viracocha left, heading toward the Pacific Ocean. He would never return in person, but was always watching from afar. So there you have it, the creation story of the Inca people. Kind of weird that they thought that their most powerful god once tried to destroy them, but hey, it's also kind of weird that the Romans thought that their ancestors were Romulus and Remus, who were a bunch of murderers. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our first mythology episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Random History will be back with a whole another topic, hopefully next week.